Awesome. Thank you so much for showing up here today. I'm so excited to go over this simplify your systems to amplify your results. So I'm going to get started right away because I know our time is all important and we are all super busy. So I'm going to get started right away. So let me just share my screen here with you. Okay. All right. So this is Simplify to Amplify. I'm so excited you guys are here. If you are anything like how I was, I'm going to guess that maybe you've got about 14 apps on your phone right now that you swear you're going to learn how to use someday. And then you have a Google Drive, maybe full of half-finished content calendars. And at least once a week, you see another real estate agent post a reel and wonder, like, how do they have time for that? So if any of that sounds familiar to you, you are in the right place. So I'm Shalini Enriquez. I'm going to just tell you, I am a recovering course purchaser. So if there was a help group for learning addicts, I would be the poster child for that. So I've spent over $100,000 on courses, coaches, masterminds, you name it. I've probably bought it. And I'm incredibly grateful for all of it because I've learned so much and I wouldn't trade any of those experiences for anything. But here's the unsexy truth that no one really talks about. All of the courses in the world couldn't help me until I got brutally honest with myself about one thing. I didn't actually need more information. I needed a clear plan and I needed the discipline to actually follow it. Now, I know discipline and planning, right? That's not exciting, but here's the thing. At one point, I got so bad that I actually had a sticky note on my computer that literally said, "You don't need another course." I have a photo of it, but it's still there because I love to learn, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But the sticky note is part of the reason why I'm here with you today, because I know I'm not the only one who's been caught in the just one more strategy trap, chasing the next app or the next platform or the next content trend and hoping, it's going to finally make marketing easier. But, it never does. But what I found works and what I want to share with you today is really dialing it back, getting clear, and really it's simplicity and simplifying. So think of it like planting a garden, which I'm sure we're all going to be excited to do soon once, spring sort of gets around here. But you need good soil, you need water, sunlight, and you need a few healthy plants. But if you throw every plant you love into the mix and shade plants, sun plants, and you crowd the bed with decorations and gnomes and flamingos, and nothing thrives, right? It ends up just being a bit of a tangled mess. So simplifying gives everything room to grow. And your marketing is the same. When you strip it down to the essential ingredients, your systems, your brand, your content, everything gets clearer, easier, and more effective. And I'm not just teaching this, I'm living it. So I am a realtor. I'm a full-time real estate agent, just like all of you. I work with clients every single day. I know exactly what it's like to juggle deals, showings, family life, and still try to show up online without losing your mind. And that's why I'm here. I'm not a guru with a perfect system, but I'm someone who's been deep in the overwhelm, and I know what it feels like to want a marketing plan that doesn't feel like a second full-time job. So if I can help even one of you stop chasing shiny objects, comparing yourself to like every agent out there online, or trying to copy someone else's system that doesn't even match the kind of business that you may want, then this will be all worth it. So this is the truth, right? This work that we do, it's personal. We're all realtors, yes, but we all have different goals, different lives, and different definitions of success. So the best marketing plan isn't the one that works for someone else. It's the one that fits you, your life, and the way that you want to show up. So by the end of the today, you're going to know what pieces of the marketing puzzle actually matter to you and how they fit together in a way that works for you. Because your business, again, it's going to be something that you love and not something that you feel trapped by. So without further ado, let's get into that. So this is the Simplify method. I love these types of methods. They're easy to remember. So really, S is going to be simple systems. We're going to go over all of these things together at a relatively high level to introduce you to all of them. And I want to share something with you at the end, and it's absolutely free. But there's if you're gonna if you feel any way sort of overwhelmed by this, like don't, because this is just like a high level introduction to the system. And then I'm going to take you through it separately. And I'll get into that at the end. So stick around to the end where we can go over that together. So S is really for simple systems. And so you may have a love-hate relationship with technology. I hear that from so many real estate agents. We are realtors, we're not IT departments, but somewhere along the way, it just started to feel like if you didn't have the latest app or the fanciest CRM or some like all-in-one magic system, you're already behind the eight ball, right? So the truth is you don't need more tools, you need fewer, but you need them to actually work for you. So the step one in simple systems is to take an audit of your tools. I want you to take a look at what you're working with and what you have that you're not working with. So it's just like spring cleaning. Let's spring clean our tech stack. So let's either keep it, ditch it, and simplify it. If you have more than one app that does the same thing, I've been guilty of that. I could have CapCut, Captions app, Mojo, you name it. I probably had it at one point. And now Canva can do so many different things for us too, right? So just take an audit of what you have. Take a moment to go through your subscriptions. What things are you paying for? Have you looked at those recently? Do you even need them? Have you used them? The goal is really here to get clear on what you're actually using and what's just collecting dust and costing you money. So if you can make a quick list of the tools and platforms that you're using and just take this time to audit everything, your CRM, your website. Do you have multiple websites? What email platform are you using? Or do you use a social scheduling tool, or are you just paying for one? What video tools do you use? Look at all of them. So write them all down in one column. This is going to take you some time, but we have to put in the work in order to get to simplify it in the end, right? So then what I want you to do in the next column is put a check mark beside which ones you've actually used in like the last 3 to 6 months. Anything that you have that's just sitting there, but you think you might use it one day, or and in the chart and you're paying for it, cancel it and archive it, delete it, get rid of it. If it's not actively making your life easier or helping you connect with clients and you're not using it, it's clutter. And marketing clutter equals mental clutter. So just ditch. The more tools doesn't mean more results. They just add to chaos. And every tool that you have should keep a clear purpose. So once you've cleared some of the clutter, we're going to simplify it all the way down to your core tech stack. And I'm not going to tell you what to use. If you want to know what I use, I'm happy to share it with you. But you may have systems that you're already familiar with or some tech that you're already familiar with. I'm not here to have you learn something entirely new. We want to just optimize the things that we have. And if you have questions about them, I'm going to be happy to answer them too. Your tools really should work together and not make you the middleman as well. So that's what's connecting the dots is. So like if you have a CRM, does your CRM and your email, do they talk together? If you send an email, can you see it in your CRM? When someone signs up on your website, do they automatically land in your CRM? So we're going to get into that a little bit more because there's tech involved with that. But if you can set up some of these simple systems, which will help you to do, then it will give you more time away from things. You won't be the middleman. You won't be the bottleneck in your processes, and less of your leads will fall through the cracks. The next letter is I for intentional branding. And this is one of my favorite topics. I love branding and everything about it. And intentional branding is because the reason why I love this is because once you nail it, everything in your marketing will become so much easier. Now, when most realtors, I think when we think of brand, or most people, you think logo, you think colors, you think fonts, right? And those are all part of it. But your brand is a lot more than your visuals. Your brand is your value. Your brand is how people feel about you. It's what people say about you when you're not in the room, and it's the energy that you bring to every conversation. Whether like online or in person and everywhere in between. So if you aren't clear about what your values are, I want you to take some time right now, because this is a working webinar. We want to get some work done while we're here, right? So take some time and just think about, even your past clients, like what did they say about you? Like what was the experience of working with you? What are your non-negotiables? Like, what is your true north? Like the values that you stand by, even when things get tough. And those become the backbone, really of your trustworthy brand. The next one is your vibe. So your brand vibe. So this is your energy, your personality, your you-ness. So how are you? Like, how are you? Are you polished and professional? Are you warm and approachable? Are you quirky and fun? Are you luxury and elevated? There's no right answer, but the more you that you are, the more you're going to attract the right clients and repel the wrong ones, which is a great thing. So a quick exercise for you is to write down 3 words that you want people to associate with you after they meet you or they see your content. Do you want to come across as knowledgeable, approachable, honest, creative, savvy, fun? There's no right or wrong combo here for you. But I want you to be intentional about it and really just put some time into thinking about how you want to come across. When your vibe is clear, your ideal clients will know that you're their person. And they're going to feel that from your very first post, your email, or your conversation. And it makes your marketing and all of these other steps so much easier, which is why we want to start with really dialing in your branding. And finally, your brand voice. So this is the way that you write, you speak, and that you show up in your marketing. And think about how you want to come across in your branding and in your content. Do you want to be, casual and conversational? Is that how you are? Do you really want to come across polished and professional or direct? Your voice, it doesn't need to sound like anybody else's. In fact, it shouldn't. The more natural and authentic it is, then the easier your marketing is going to get. So you don't have to perform. You can just show up as yourself. And if you're not sure what your voice is, because this is a lot of introspective work that maybe you haven't done before, then take a look at your last 5 Instagram captions or your last few emails that you wrote, and see like which ones, when you look back at them, which ones felt the easiest to write. Which ones feel like you in real life, and that's your voice. You need to sound like you and like you're talking to your people. So when your branding is clear, like I had said, your marketing will get easier. And when your branding feels really authentic to you and intentional to you, you're going to attract clients that love working with you. And that's really what intentional branding is all about. And there are tools that you can use to help you with this. You can even go through this if you are comfortable using AI or with ChatGPT. You can even upload some of your emails in there and ask it to act as a brand strategist and help you to come out to really tease out what your values, brand vibe, and brand voice are. The M is for marketing with email. So, I already know some of you are thinking, email, Shalini, really, no one reads email anymore. Or maybe you have an email list and you haven't emailed them in months. And now, you're scared to email them. Like, what are you going to say to them? Because they may have forgotten who you are, right? And if that's you, that's okay. You are not alone. We've all been there. Like, there was a time when I thought that email was old school, and I figured that social media was really more where it's at because it felt faster and it felt more exciting. But the thing is that when Instagram has a glitch, or look what happened recently with TikTok, right? It disappeared. Although, I mean, it wasn't for for too long. But your email list is really the only thing that you own. And I know you may hear a lot of people preaching about this, but it is really true. Like, email is your direct line to your people, and it's where you can turn, colder relationships into warmer relationships and into actual clients. And this is why email is like still one of the most powerful tools that you have as a realtor, because you own it. There's no algorithm that controls your email, right? It's your list. People check email every day. Every single day, for business and for personal reasons, right? And email is where you nurture people. It's not necessarily where you're just going to pitch people all the time. It's where you go to become the expert before they ever pick up the phone. Social media, think of it like as your billboard, and email is your coffee date. So first of all, I want you to ask a question of yourself, this question. So, do you have an email database? If you do, like, that's great. You've gotten your list, right? You've started a list. It can be, think about people maybe that are in your CRM or past clients, or buyer leads that may have come through, or people that you met at an open house. Those are all potential subscribers that you could have, that you can send regular emails to. And then the next thing you have to ask yourself is, do you have a way to collect emails from people who visit your website or who follow you on social? If you don't, okay, that's step one, right? You don't need to overcomplicate this. You don't need a complicated funnel. You don't need to sign up for ClickFunnels or anything like that. It's really simple. It could be as simple as like, join my email list for local market updates, right? You don't overcomplicate it. We just need a way to collect emails from people. And then the next question you might have is, okay, what are you going to send them, right? You've got your list now, or a way to establish a list. So once you have their email, it's not just about sending listings. We don't want to just like spam people with listings all the time. We want to consistently show up with value so they remember your name and when it's time to buy or sell. And I know value, people are like, what does value really mean, right? So I want you to think newsletters, maybe local updates or events like that are happening in your area. Quick market insights. You can pull things, even if you see things, in headlines, right? Any behind the scenes things that happen in your day. You could talk about client stories or preparing a home for sale. People are interested in you and your what you're doing, especially when you've attracted those right clients in, right? And this is another way that you can do that. And I want you to think too, this isn't simplifying. You're adding something else onto my lap. But I want you to think about repurposing your social media. So not everyone looks or is able to even see your social media. You took time to create it. So let's repurpose it and write it and use it in a different way so that you can get it out to your email list. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that and how to do that in a minute. And the next thing is flow, which I love. I love being in a flow state when things are just like naturally happening for you. And so you have to decide what that is for you. Once a month is a great place to start, especially if you're not regularly engaging with your email database now. So once a month, could you send an email newsletter once a month? Because if you are using right now like the templated email that maybe came with the CRM that you have, or some other sort of templated email, there's ways now, once you have your brand voice down, that you can help make that sound a little bit more like you and not so generic. And by doing that, you're going to build a stronger relationship with your clients. And it's really easy to do. It doesn't need to be overwhelming, but that's going to really help you. So if you can think about sending out an email a newsletter once a month, that's a great place to start if you're not doing something right now. And then you can grow with it. If it starts to become easier, then grow with it. Maybe you're sending, then you can maybe get to once a week. Maybe you can repurpose or do a roundup of some of the social media things that you had done that week, or things that are happening in and around where you live. And there's another thing to think about too, is like email sequences, and we'll get into that a little bit as well. Platforms and productivity. So I would ask for you to drop a 1 in the chat if you have ever downloaded a new social media app because everyone said, like, this is where you need to be, right? Drop a 1 in the chat if that's you. I think what comes to mind, like Clubhouse, who was on there, or Red Note. That was another one, right? When TikTok was going away, everyone said, "Oh, jump on Red Note." Another one is if you've ever drop a 2 in the chat, if you've ever posted consistently for about 2 weeks, and then life got busy and you just like you ghosted and you fell off, right? Has that ever happened to you? I mean, it's happened to me. Have you ever felt like you're either everywhere all the time or you're totally invisible? Drop a 3 in the chat if that's relatable for you. So the myth I really believe that we've all been sold is that successful realtors are posting on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn every day, plus showing homes, writing offers, and still having a life. But the spoiler alert, like that's not real unless you have a team doing that for you, or and if you do, that's awesome. And then this is probably not the webinar for you. But the truth is, the most successful realtors aren't doing more. They're just focusing on the right platforms for them. And so that's why you're seeing them show up consistently. So really what I'm asking you to do is just pick your primary platform, pick one, and have a backup. So here's your permission slip. You do not need to be everywhere. In fact, trying to be everywhere is the fastest way to burn out and show up inconsistently everywhere. Because I've tried it. I've tried with posting schedulers and things like that. It's difficult to be everywhere all of the time. So instead, what's worked for me and that I've had the most success with is sticking to one primary platform that you show up consistently. And then you have a backup one that you can use occasionally. So now you might be asking, okay, which platform do I use? I want you to pick the one that through this formula, the one that you actually enjoy using. So Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever you enjoy. And now, which platform do your ideal clients actually use when they're thinking about buying or selling? And then the sweet spot is where they overlap. So where you enjoy showing up and where your ideal clients hang out, that's your primary platform. So if you love making videos and your audience are like 30-something families, Instagram is probably like is it like a solid fit for you. If you're targeting downsizers, maybe Facebook could be gold for you, right? You're going to grow faster by focusing on 1 to 2 platforms consistently than trying to half show up everywhere. So just release that guilt or pressure or whatever it is you feel like you need to be on all of the platforms, and simplify it down to 1 or 2. Another thing that you can do is batch and reuse. So working smarter, not harder, which is what we've all heard before. But a lot of people think that they need to create brand new content for every platform, and that's a one-way ticket to burnout. So here's the smarter way and the simpler way. One piece of content can work at least 4 ways for you. So here's an example. You film a 60-second market update reel for Instagram. You can use that same video. It could go on your secondary platform if it's, say, like YouTube or like Facebook, right? That you could put the same one there, or TikTok, whatever it is that you use. But you could also take the script from that market update video, and you could turn that into a blog post, and that could go on your website. You could also use that as an email that could go out to your clients or part of your newsletter with a market update in there. You could turn that piece of content, even as like a bonus now, you could turn use that topic again, because not everybody sees what you post. Like if you've ever taken a moment to look at your analytics, like it reaches very like maybe like, you know, sometimes 10% or more of like your audience, right? So you can turn that same topic or carousel, you could do it again and turn it into a carousel post or a static post or a story. One topic can be multiple formats and hit a lot of the things that we're talking about. And if you feel overwhelmed to do this, one really simple way, another way to do it is you can use AI to help you. You can use ChatGPT to help you. You can upload your script from your reel and say, hey, I'd like to turn this into a blog post. I'd like to rank for the keyword wherever you are, real estate, right? Or something like that, or real estate market update. And it will help you to create that. So those are platforms and productivity. So really for social, like pick one and let's repurpose. The next thing we're going to talk about is video, and this is one of my favorite topics because I do love video. But I'll be honest, I didn't always love video. I started doing video pretty consistently in 2018, and back then, I was really worried about what I looked like. I was worried about what people would think, or that someone was going to jump on my video and say, "You're this is completely, what are you, or just trash me or something," right? Like you have these like inner feelings of being concerned on perception. I wanted to make sure I was like, do I sound professional enough? I really was overthinking so much of it. And my first videos, you know, if you ever went to go look at my YouTube channel, they are like, they're not great. Like I'll have to admit, I left them up there. They're awkward. You know, my lighting wasn't great. And it took me so long to record a 60-second clip. I mean, you could go through my phone and look at just video after video after video. But here's what I realized, and what I want to share with you is that the only way to get good at video is, well, it's to start doing video. Do it messy, do it awkward, and, you know, unpolished videos, they are better, I'm telling you, than no video at all. And that's why I leave my videos up there, because I still have clients that watch them that are that old, because they still show up for different Google searches. So at least you're showing up, right? You have an online presence. It forms part of your brand. And perfect doesn't convert. You know, people are so skeptical nowadays. You know, but being real and being authentic, it really does. People can see your heart. They can really see who you are. So people don't just hire realtors for their skills. Of course, your skills are important and you want to show them, but really it comes down a lot to like, know, and trust, which I know you've heard before, right? And people need to feel comfortable with you. And nothing builds comfort faster really than video, because video gives people a sense of who you are before they've even met you. They hear your voice, they see your expressions, they start to feel like they know you, even if they've never met you. And I don't know about you, but I've definitely had that experience before where I've been at a networking event and I've seen like another realtor or someone that I know online. And I'm like, hi, how are you? And they may not know who I am at all, but I 100% know who they are. I maybe even know what they had for breakfast that day, like if they had posted it, right? But in a sea of realtors, like there are so many of us, and a lot of us, you know, could be saying something similar, or saying like looking to attract clients. Like in the sea of all of us, your face, your voice, and your personality are your superpower. This could really be a whole session on its own. So I do have a whole session about this, but I won't take up much more time on this. But I want to talk about these three things. So tools and tech, because tech is where it can get really overwhelming for people in editing and things like that. I really want to simplify this for you. Listen, I am like a tech gadget queen. I have like I was telling you about the courses, I have 2 drones. I have all of the tech. If you want to get deep into it, I am here for it. But we're keeping it simple. And so to simplify your system and to simplify you actually getting the video done, really, your phone is your friend, right? The phone is amazing. The quality of the video is amazing. Always remember to wipe your camera before you take that video so it doesn't look like you smeared like Vaseline, all over, all over yourself. Um, and you don't need to dance, right? Unless, of course, you want to. And you don't need fancy production, right? You need your phone. The best place to stand is in front of a window. You instantly look brighter and lighter, and you just come across, it just comes across so much nicer. You'll be so much happier with how you look instead of lots of shadows on your face. And you need a video editing software. So there are so many. Like, if I know some people might be moving away from CapCut, because it is owned by TikTok. So there's other ones, but whatever one you might have right now, even if you're not sure how to use it, we'll have another session going into like how to edit a little bit, some easy edits that you can do. But really, just having like something that you could do simple edits with. And you don't have to worry. Once you know how to do simple edits, you do not have to worry so much about what you're going to say, because you can edit it out. You can change things around. If you say or like or ah, there's actually ways that you can automatically remove those things now. Very simple. So some sort of editing software will help you and simplify it for your life. A mic is something that I do suggest, especially it just changes the quality of how you sound, especially if you're outside or in noisy environments. And I have some good ones that you can pick right off of Amazon that are not that expensive. But if you don't have one, again, you can use your AirPods, or you can just, be closer to the phone. A tripod, or I have a tripod is good. This is like a smaller one that I use. Again, it's just not expensive. It's very simple. It fits in my purse. You could also use it to defend yourself. But we never have to do that. But it's got a Bluetooth controller on it. It fits in your purse. It's easy to use, and it pulls up and can be like quite tall. Fits your phone. I carry that around with me. I'm not saying that and there's another one that I have that I was going to show you. It's actually a newer one, and it sticks to any surface. Really super easy to use so that you can film yourself. You don't need a camera crew following you around. So that's just sort of the technicalities behind taking some of those videos. What are you going to post? Because this is something that can people get hung up on sometimes. So your brand guidelines and targeting who you want to speak to from earlier when we were talking about intentional branding, that's really going to help you here. You're going to know sort of how you're going to show up, who you want to speak to, what their problems are, what their pain points are, because you will have spent the time, because you have to do the work to really identify who your audience is going to be. So those, you might do market updates to position yourself as an expert. You might want to do, what's happening in your market this month. A one you could do this week, what do buyers or sellers need to know, about buying, or what do buyers need to know about buying in in your city this spring, right? What do they need to know ahead of that? Just keep it short, conversational. And just talk as if you're talking to your friend, and like look at the camera when you speak. That makes a big difference as well. And then just pretend it's like your best friend behind there, right? Like, who are you going to give your best advice to? That will help you to feel just a little bit more relaxed, I think, when you are like act as if you're speaking to somebody, because we can tend to seize up a little bit in the beginning when we start talking in front of the camera. But even practice by having the camera on and just having regular conversations, not even that you're intending to record, but just practice having conversations and getting comfortable in front of it. And I promise you, once you learn how to do little simple edits, it's going to be a lot easier too. And then when to post. This is another question that I get a lot. And the real answer here is make a schedule that you can stick to and do that. We are not here, like, you don't need hundreds of thousands of followers to work with people that are going to meet you online. It's just not true. But you do need to show up consistently in order for people to know who you are and what you're about. So make a schedule that you can stick to. If this is a priority for you, then you will find a way to make this fit in. So if that comes out as 3 days a week, then pick 3 days a week and just, come, just stick to that plan. And now that you will have your brand voice identified and you are really clear about who you're talking to, and you can batch or repurpose them, it'll be easier for you to come out with those content buckets. We're keeping it simple. Do not compare yourself to someone who is at a level 10. If you think of levels, right? Do not go on and compare yourself to Ryan Serhant. We are not Ryan Serhant. We're not trying to be Ryan Serhant. We're trying to be, you, and you're coming across with your unique voice. So start where you are, get into a rhythm, and go from there. Something that you can stick to. You're going to build confidence in that way. Then next one is and this is for integrations. And I won't spend too much time talking about this, but integrations is something in your technology, which really simply means making your tools talk to each other automatically. So no manual work required. Tech can be so great for us when we use it the right way. And these are simple things that you can do that will help you. So think about this right now. If you have a website, if someone fills out a form on your website, are they instantly added into your CRM? If they are, okay, without you having to do anything, if they are, then that's great. Does your CRM then notify you? Does your CRM then automatically send out like a welcome email to them? If those things are happening, that's an integration. It's not fancy. It's not fancy technology. It's just connecting your tools so that they do the work. They do work for you. It doesn't stop you from having to pick up the phone, but it's preventing you, if you're on showings or things like that, there's things happening automatically for you. So one is website to CRM. Another one is when someone enters your CRM, again, does that trigger like an email? Does an email go out to them? Does a welcome sequence maybe, or just some sort of email notification if it's a listing? Does your CRM have that capability? Have you set that up? Is that something that you can do? That's something, that's another integration that will make your life easier. You sort of can set it up once when you write those emails, and you can use ChatGPT and your brand voice to help develop those emails rather quickly, and then you can upload them instead of using the ones that came with the CRM that may feel a little bit generic and not like how you're going to really stand out from the crowd. And another one is calendars to CRM, which is a nice one to have, and a lot of the CRMs I've noticed now have this built in. Lofty is one, for example, where it almost has like a Calendly type scheduler built into it. So if someone books a call with you, that appointment, you can send them a link, like they can book calls with you. It syncs into your calendar so they can see when you're available. And then it automatically can set reminders as well. So there's no back and forth emails to schedule, no manual note taking. Calendly, Lofty. I know Google Calendar has an option too where you're able to send a link, or whatever you have right now. If you have something right now, because we're simplifying our tech stack, look at what you have, look into all that it offers, because probably a lot of us are not even using things to the full capability of what they can do, right? So if you can remove yourself from manually doing these things, they're far less likely to fall through the cracks. The next one is funnels that connect. And funnels, I feel like, can feel a little overwhelming when we think of funnels. We think we need to have all of these different steps set up, and you really don't. Funnels really just need clear entry point. So, you probably already have funnels, and you don't even know it, right? Like, drop a 1 in the chat, for example, if you've ever posted on Instagram and hoped that someone would DM you back. So you're like, hey, I've got a guide, a decluttering guide, DM me the word guide and I'll send it to you, right? That is a funnel. And that's a lot of people if you've seen that on Instagram before, they're using something called ManyChat to do that, it is a really used to be a little bit more complicated. It's a very simple service to use now, but you could even you could be the ManyChat if you wanted to. But that is a funnel, right? So a funnel simply it's a path that someone takes from the moment they find you until the moment that you've connected with them. Or that and then they hire you. So the content you create should have one clear next step, even if it's as simple as I said, like getting a guide, or joining your email list for monthly market updates. Something that's just a next step. Those types of steps are a lot easier for people to take than just going right for an appointment. If you can have a soft step in between, or a few, like a bit of nurture that happens in between, it's going to be a lot easier for you. They're going to get to know you and what you're about a lot more before you're just trying to like go in for the appointment. And that will again, it will help you build your email list and as well, like you can set up some automatic nurtures in your funnels. So funnel could be when they come into your, like we were just talking about your website, do you have a welcome email that goes out? Those could be different funnels. You can offer different things as they go. When someone signs onto your email list, we can set it up so that an email goes out right away saying, thank you for joining my email list. There are different things that you can do either through landing pages, ManyChat, or through whatever email service provider you're using right now. Okay, so really the idea of the funnel, it's again, not to create a crazy 20-step funnel. It's just to create a smooth, repeatable path from lead to client. You want to attract them, you want to capture them, and get their information, and then nurture them to stay in touch. And then now we're at why, which is the final step in our Simplify framework, which is at some point, it's your unique content plan. So at some point, you've probably seen another realtor's Instagram account and thought, okay, I guess I need to do that, right? Or you've bought a content calendar and followed it for a week and then fell off. Or again, you tried to post like Ryan Sarahan, or only to feel like that it was awkward or off brand for you. And those things they wouldn't align with you, right? And we've all been there, right? The truth is that the best content plan isn't the one that works for them. It's going to be the one that works for you. And by going through the Simplify method and those initial steps are really identifying your brand voice and like how often you want to post, that is going to be what sets you up for success, because the goal isn't to copy anyone else's content. It's to create a plan that fits your voice, your schedule, and your audience. Because there are 3 things that your content plan needs if it's going to work for you long term, and actually attract the right clients. And again, we're going back to values, vibe, and voice that we worked on earlier. That's going to be your internal filter for every piece of content that you create. If you want to be known for the expert in negotiation, you want to share stories that showcase your skills. And stories are great. Like, people love to listen to stories, right? If your vibe is fun and approachable, you want to bring humor and personality to your posts, because that's going to relate to the clients that you want to attract. You probably want to work with fun and, humorous people too. If your brand is all about community, then you want to highlight local events, businesses, and stories. And I love community. Like, that's a big one. That's was what my brand is about. But you have to find the brand that aligns for you, right? Well, what your brand is. And it has to be, that's the only way you're going to stay consistent with it. So think about this week. This is like a takeaway for you. What are your content pillars going to be? So if you can really sort of dial in a little bit, do some work about thinking about what brand voice you want to be, then you're going to come up with 3 to 5 content pillars, and the key topics that you want to be known for. Market expertise could be one. First, maybe your target audience are first-time home buyers. Maybe they are move-up buyers. So you're going to think about, what do move-up buyers want to know? What are the questions that you're asked? And you want to write some of them down. Like, it does take some prep work, but prep work will simplify this process. And then you can reuse and recycle and batch these and repurpose them. You don't need to like have something new all the time. I think that's something that we get stuck in. Like I said before, like not everybody sees everything that you post all the time. So if we're going to come up with a plan that works for you, that's in your voice, that targets your clients, and then be able to repurpose and reuse a lot of those over and over again and refine them. You can even improve them as you go. When you know your pillars, you're never going to have to wonder what to post. And honestly, I feel like that's the part that can be really overwhelming, not knowing what to do or not knowing what to post, and then get stuck scrolling, looking for ideas or looking for things that will motivate you to do it. But that's not where it comes from. The best content plan is the one that you can stick to. And then you need a schedule again that matches your life. So, how many posts per week are realistic for you for the next 3 months, say. Just come up with that time period. So that, before we wrap up, I just wanted to we'll do a quick recap. So I just walked you through the entire Simplify to Amplify framework. It's 8 essential pieces that, every realtor really needs, I think, to build a marketing system that works for you and not against you. You can simplify your systems, reduce and just ditch what you don't need and just keep your blinders on now. Like once you get your tech stack done and audited, that is where you're going to stay in that lane. You need to get intentional about your branding so that you can attract the right clients by showing up as you. We broke down email marketing. We talked a little bit about that so that you can stay top of mind without being stuck online, 24/7. And we tackled platform overwhelm so you can focus on showing up where it really matters for you. And we talked a little bit about video as well. And even if you're not feeling natural on camera, different strategies and ways that you can do that and make it streamlined. And integrations so that your systems talk to each other and they remove you from having to think about those things. Funnels so that you have a clear path from a lead to a client. And just touched on creating your unique content plan so you can make marketing a plan that fits for your life and not the other way around. So that was a lot. If you feel like we were drinking from a fire hose, I hope you didn't, but I know it's a lot of information and I hope that somewhere in here you could leave with some clarity and maybe even a little relief, knowing that you don't need to do everything to market your business. You don't need to be on every platform. You just need to do the right things and the things that fit your goals and your style. But here's the thing, simplifying your marketing isn't just a one and done job. It is a process and it does evolve. But if you're ready to keep going, I'd love to invite you to join me for something special and totally free. But I feel like sometimes we need to set a time aside to do the work, right? I don't want you to leave here today and not take anything away and not actually have anything to implement. So starting in April, and for 8 weeks, I'll be doing a series where I'm going to walk you through each piece of this process. So one at a time, not as we did today, going over with the overview of everything. So we'll go deeper into systems. We'll go deeper into brand. We'll be working on it together. These are work periods, not as much webinars set up like this, so that you can ask questions. You can have live coaching, and I will be there, and plus there'll be other realtors like that will be on there that can help support you, and we can share ideas. I don't want this. It's not a course that you buy it and you forget about it and it sits there. In order to get these things done, you need to set some time aside in your schedule and be intentional about it. So that's what I really want these sessions to be. So working sessions, hands-on, practical, and designed to help you build a marketing system that works for you without overwhelm. Because I don't think any of us need more noise. We just need clarity. We need a great community of people around us that can help us and to actually build a plan that we can follow. So if you would like to continue on with that, I would love to be able to work with you more. And all you need to do is just type "I'm in the chat below, and then I'll make sure that an email will go out to you with the webinars to start in April. And with that is it. That's what I've got for you today.